Welcome to the Back Porch Top Podcast. I'm Coach Jason.
Your coach Danny.
Fans, we got a full show for you today, but before we get right into it, go ahead and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Let the algorithm. Go ahead and tell a few friends that we are here. A little NFL talk, a little NBA talk, and a little Olympics talk. But first, Danny, right into the NFL, where the big game, the Super Bowl, happened last night. And this was a blowout, Danny. The score says 29-13, but this was a blowout. The Seattle Seahawks goes ahead and win the franchise's second Super Bowl. New England Patriots, who has visited the Super Bowl the most in NFL history, takes another L. And this was a defensive battle, but man, the Seattle Seahawks defense just ate up the New England Patriots, man. I don't know what no other words, man. I mean, this was a butt whooping. And the score, even though at the end of the third quarter it says 12-0, it felt like 50-0, quite frankly, the way this defense was playing. And the Super Bowl MVP being Kenneth Walker, the running back for the Seattle Seahawks, where he ended up with 27 carries for 135 yards. And let me just say, in the first half, he was very impressive, man. I mean, he had over 90 yards carrying the ball, two big runs in the first half. And Kenneth Walker is your MVP. Sam Darnold goes 19 for 38 for 202 yards, one touchdown. No interceptions, and I think that was the key. Just no turnovers by the Seattle Seahawks in their playoff run this year. And Sam Darnold, man, what more can you say? I mean, he is the first USC quarterback to win a Super Bowl. That says a lot. When you talk about the USC Trojans, and when you talk about the string of quarterbacks that USC have had, I mean, we're talking about the likes of Carson Palmer. You're talking about the Matt Leinarts. You currently have Caleb Williams in there. Think about Mark Sanchez. Mark Sanchez went to two AFC championship games with the New York Jets. You talk about the Matt Castles, Rodney Peete. I mean, you have an interesting list of USC quarterbacks, and Sam Darnold becomes the first and only USC quarterback to win a Super Bowl. What say you?
Jason, Seattle won in all phases. So their defense, special teams with the field goals, making the field goals because they couldn't execute. So the Patriots defense was playing comparably just as good as they were, but the Patriots couldn't draw or cause any turnovers like you mentioned
Mm-hmm.
for Seattle. There were a couple plays though Sam Darnold threw in some windows. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah,
But he
yeah,
got lucky. He
yeah.
got
Lucky.
lucky. And the Patriots also took away JSN.
Mm-hmm.
The way, if you remember those old New England teams with Belichick, they were always trying to take that one person away, and they took away JSN. But Kenneth Walker, did his thing on the offensive side. Field goals. Myers hits those field goals.
Mm-hmm.
The punter pinned the Patriots how many times, man?
Yeah,
Because it was a
yeah.
field position game,
Mm-hmm.
and he was just putting them inside the 10 so many times. Man, that punter is good. I've watched a couple Seattle games, but man, I didn't realize how good he was. I did get a little funny feeling though in that fourth quarter when before Drake made through that. I don't know why he forced that pass downfield when they were driving. It was
Yep.
19-7,
Mm-hmm.
which ultimately turned the game. If he would have stayed, within what they were doing, like the dink and dunk, and not going for it all. If they make it 19-14, they still have a chance because the defense, New England's defense was playing inspired. Christian Gonzalez had a great game.
Yeah, yeah. Amazing game. Yeah,
Yeah,
agreed there.
so he stopped like two or three touchdowns himself
Yep.
uh, that turned into field goals. But yeah, great game by Seattle, man. Like I said, all phases. And you look at New England, I think they're ahead of their time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I'm curious to see what they do. I think they need some wide receiver help. And then also on the Seattle side, right? Kenneth Walker, congratulations to him getting MVP, which was well deserved.
Hmm.
He's a free agent. You talking about putting yourself in the best position possible
Hmm.
for
Hmm.
free agency as a running back at that. That he should be getting paid. So I'm curious to see if Seattle, he comes back, goes back to Seattle, or what he does. That defense, man, if they can keep that defense together, they're gonna be all right.
They're gonna be more than all right, Danny. I think they're gonna be in the running for division titles and conference titles for in the next couple, at least the next couple years. I think I want to say.
Yeah.
And I mean, that Seahawks front four was just impressive, man. I mean, you talk about the defense here, but man, they had 6 sacks on the New England Patriots. You kidding me?
And the
Six.
fumble and I mean the interceptions.
And it's yeah, I
It was the
mean,
pressure, man. They collapsed that pocket.
and to your point about what the Patriots need to improve upon, they need to improve upon that O line. That left guard,
That's it.
I mean, the left guard just had the whole O line just had a time last night.
Yeah, it wasn't their best effort. But
They
they've
had
been
a time
struggling
last
all
night.
playoffs as you look at it.
Yeah, true enough. True enough. And I would say this too, man. You gotta give kudos to DeMarcus Lawrence, man. The reason why I say that, man, listen, he felt that he was not going to win a title with the Dallas Cowboys.
Hmm.
He went off in the free agency and it resulted in a 3-year, $32.5 million deal with the Seahawks. And he got a ring.
Hmm.
That says a whole lot, man, about an organization, coaching. I mean, it says a lot. So I'm curious as to what's going to happen next season and where the Super Bowl is going to be at SoFi Stadium, the home of the LA Rams and the LA Chargers.
Hmm.
The Rams, man, I can see getting in there, but man, it's going to be a beast. And I don't know, man. To me, this feels like the NFC. You see the same teams out of the AFC. NFC, you're going to get, some form of variety,
Hmm.
if you will. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next season. But yeah, congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks.
And Jason too with Clint Kubiak, he's leaving. So how
Hmm.
does that impact the offense? Since he
Hmm.
was the offensive coordinator, the team is up for sale.
Yeah,
So there are a
yeah.
lot of things in the offseason for Seattle, even coming off a win.
And Danny, right into the talk about the NBA and where the NBA has passed, obviously, the trade deadline. Giannis is still Milwaukee Buck. And let me just say that obviously teams are going to be really coming at the Milwaukee Bucks in the offseason. Obviously, teams want to see how they fare out in these playoffs, and ultimately in the postseason and also championship rounds. Let me say, Danny, reports indicate that the Golden State Warriors had a lot of draft picks. I'm hearing 3 to 4 first round draft picks for Giannis. I don't know why we didn't pull the trigger on that. I don't know what more of a deal we would get, not unless we were seeking also some players. In which case, I did see so Buddy Hield and also Jonathan Kuminga goes to the Atlanta Hawks for Porzingis for the Golden State Warriors. If they offered one of them with potentially 4 first round picks, I don't know what else the Milwaukee Bucks are really asking for.
Hmm.
One, they would be Giannis would have been out the conference. We would have 4 first round draft picks. And not unless there were maybe potentially a pick swap or the other thing too with the Golden State Warriors, how good of a pick would those have been?
Hmm.
But for you not to have a lot of first round picks yourself in your arsenal, any first round pick I think would bode well at this juncture. So I don't know what the Milwaukee Bucks were looking for here. Was this a missed opportunity? We'll see come the off season when the deal actually or the trade actually happens. But right now, Giannis is a Milwaukee Buck. I don't know how many games he's going to be playing. He wants to play from reports, and honestly, I say let him play, but just really monitor the situation with his calf. What say you, Danny, about the trade deadline with the Milwaukee Bucks?
Yeah, Jay, with all the rumors and everything going, flying around with Giannis, I thought it was a foregone conclusion that something was going to happen. Obviously, it didn't. I'm curious too if the Bucks are trying to package in somebody else to dump a salary, and the other team, the receiving team, didn't want to do that. Example, Miles Turner. So I'm not sure about that or not, or if it was just trying to feel out what offers look like. So once they got to the summertime, they have a number of different suitors outside of the limited group they had here at the trade deadline. Because then you get look at like the Lakers as an example of a team that could join in because they get picks and some other things free up for them in the summertime. So that's why I looked at it. It was more once they didn't pull the trigger, I thought it was okay. They're gonna just see what they can get for them and see if they can sweeten the pot once they bring in some other teams in the summertime. The key here is keeping him healthy, keeping Giannis healthy. With the calf injury, it scares me, man, with him playing. Uh, so if they're going to play him, you definitely got to watch his minutes. But the only thing with Giannis is, man, he only knows one speed. So that's my fear with him and this calf. So you got to make for dang sure he is healthy. And I think that's one thing they can play to the media because they're like, he's not 100% healthy. We'll sit him. You hate to cheat the fans that way, but in the same token, if he's not healthy, man, he's went down a couple times with that calf already this year. And you just don't want anything like an Achilles to happen. There's only a couple months left in the season. All-Star break is this upcoming weekend. So that'll give them a break there. And I'm curious how they go because they're only 2.5 games out of the 10th spot.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they're only, I think, 8 games out of the 7th spot or something like that. So they're not like way out of it. So if they can, tread water, they just picked up Cam Thomas, which I thought was a great pickup because he's a bucket getter from Brooklyn Nets. So that gives them some scoring punch. And he's a young body too. That's another thing. I was like, man, that's a good pickup for them.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see
Mm-hmm.
what they can do. If they can just tread water until he gets back, and if he plays, then make a little run just to have one more last hurrah if he is getting traded this summer.
Another interesting trade that happened was Anthony Davis going to the Washington Wizards, which would allow for a pairing up with Trey Young, and so the Washington Wizards are making some moves, man. I think they want to turn the page from being this a bottom feeder, if you will, to being a little bit more competitive. And let me just say, Danny, there were reports, some rumors that AD would sit out the rest of the season. Same thing with Trey Young, but then there's some rumors of where AD just needs to heal up with his hand, and so there may be opportunities for them to come back here. I think the Wizards may want to actually, uh, for lack of better words, tank,
Mm-hmm.
if you will, to get a good lottery pick. I'll say this, Danny. The NBA got a problem. They have a problem with these players playing. They have a problem with stars playing. They have a problem with teams tanking. And so NBA got to fix all these issues, man, because right now, especially with the NBA being on multiple platforms,
Mm-hmm.
multiple channels, uh, it's hard for fans to really find the games per se. Therefore, it may be hard for them to follow their respective teams. And so you have this a lot of chaos happening right now. And until there's some consistency, NBA is in trouble, I think. And so I would say that was the more interesting trade. The other one was James Harden from the LA Clippers going to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Darius Garland, man. And that was another surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I think the experiment in LA is over with the Clippers. And so much so you have Zubac going from the Clippers to the Indiana Pacers, and I think you really need to watch out for the Indiana Pacers next year. With Halliburton coming back,
Hmm.
Pacers got a pretty good team here. They got to now have a big, and man, I just think the Bucks are going to have to really make some moves, and really make a decision here of what they want to do. Interesting NBA trade deadline. What say you, Danny?
Yeah, the Zubats trade. I just didn't get what the Clippers are doing, man. If you're going to do that, you might as well trade Kawhi Leonard. I just didn't understand why they stayed with Kawhi and got rid of Zubats. His contract was really friendly. So for Indiana to scoop him up, I know they gave up some first round picks, but I believe next year's is protected. It's some weird like 1 through 4 and 10 through the rest of the first round. But five, if they finish 5 through 9, then the Clippers get it. So I see Indiana tanking. So back to your point about the tanking, this is a problem, man, because this is what Utah has been doing forever. And they had a nice deal picking up Jaren Jackson Jr.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
But how much is he really going to play? Because they want to get another top pick, just to go with that going forward. So I'm curious with these teams, the Wizards doing what they're doing, and and I think it'd be different too if these contracts weren't guaranteed and there weren't such large sums of money for some of these players. But when it's just the optics of it, right? So AD, how many games has he even played this year? And he's going to be sitting the rest of the year making whatever he's making. That doesn't look good. Trey Young, same thing. The optics are not good from that perspective that they're not actual season engine injuries. They're just choosing to sit them. I think a couple other trades, Jay. The one for Vucevic from the Bulls to the Celtics was a nice pickup for the Celtics, to show up at the front court. I know they do lose some depth with Anthony Simons being traded, but Vucevic is a nice player for you looking at the playoffs where he can pick and pop. He can hit that jumper if you need to. He can go down low and rebound. And depending on if Tatum comes back or not, that sets them up, I think, pretty good for the playoffs. Yeah, the Porzingis trade, I just think Golden State was trying to just take anything just to get Jonathan Kuminga
Yeah.
out of the
Yep.
building
Yep.
because
Exactly.
Porzingis didn't make any sense. Is with that illness he has, that mysterious illness where it kind of takes him down. Like he ran into the playoffs last year. He still, sounds like he's still suffering from that at times. I don't know, but interesting. I'll tell you one thing: the trade deadline was very active.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll
Mm-hmm.
see, and we'll see how the Cavaliers and Harden and Mitchell play together once they get into the playoffs. So that should be interesting because they kind of are similar players from a ball dominance perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And will James Harden kind of take a back seat to Donovan Mitchell? Should be an interesting next couple months before the playoffs hit.
And Danny, right into some interesting news today that happened with the Milwaukee Brewers, and where they have actually traded third baseman Caleb Durbin to the Boston Red Sox for left-hander Kyle Harrison, infielder David Hamilton, and another left-hander Shane Droin. Danny, I don't know what the Milwaukee Brewers are doing. I'm just gonna be frank, man. Caleb Durbin was, a very, I think, pivotal player for Milwaukee Brewers in their playoff run, and very young talent, very young player.
Mm-hmm.
I say he's a rookie, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And so to trade away young talent, and then to trade Freddie or let Freddie go, Freddie Peralta go, to get to just get a couple of left-handers who don't have as much experience as Freddie Peralta. What are the Milwaukee Brewers doing? Was this a money move because Freddie was owed $8 million a year, and so we get rid of a young talent to get three players, no experience, especially in the playoffs? What are the Milwaukee Brewers doing? This is frustrating for fans, and I just don't get it. I'm interested in hearing some MLB professionals or those who are in the know,
Yeah.
but I tell you what, I sure don't know. What say you, Danny?
Yeah, this trade caught me off guard, Jason, when I saw it come through. Caleb Durbin, I believe he was third in the Rookie of the Year race,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
exactly.
He's a utility infielder from a defensive perspective. He has a pretty good bat, and it looked like they were trying to get more depth in the bullpen, or I guess in the bullpen slash starting, because in this day and age with the staffs and the rotations, they're not just five like we grew up on. It's
Mm-hmm.
like six, seven deep, and
Mm-hmm.
then they're going shorter innings and all that stuff. So they're trying to eat innings once they get past like the fourth and fifth inning. But I didn't like the move to move Durbin unless there's something else going on. And they're like, I'm thinking they're just trying to make up, try to get some more arms with Peralta being gone. But the Peralta thing still baffles me. I'm assuming it was whole he wanted an extension, but I would have went at it like this, man. I was just talking to one of our friends about this
Mm-hmm.
yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the All-Star break,
Yeah,
and then if some because you have the rights to him, and teams are going to be clamoring for him. And then if you need to trade him then because you're out of contention or whatever the case may be, so be it.
you
You
talking
know,
about with Freddie?
with Freddie.
Yeah,
But don't just let him go at the beginning of the season because Woodruff has been hurt and he's
yeah, exactly.
he's the anchor of the staff, especially from a payday perspective. He's getting 22.5 million. That I think with Peralta, you let him go, and then he's going to be there every fifth day if whatever the rotation is. You can count on him. Woodruff, you can't because he's been injured. So let him at least play it out to the All Star break or trade deadline, and then move him in if you needed to. But they're making some interesting decisions. But we know from a cost savings and spending perspective what the Brewers are on. So that doesn't surprise me. But it's a shame to see Durbin go like that after the year he had last year.
If anything, then I would have traded Woodruff.
Mhm.
Saved me $22 million. I would have traded Woodruff in a heartbeat.
Mhm.
And kept Peralta, and then go with the young crew.
Mhm.
Listen, Peralta gave you what, 7 strong innings
Mhm.
on a consistent basis.
Yes.
So you wouldn't have to have that many arms if you have Freddie giving you 7 strong innings.
Mhm.
So I don't get what the Brewers are doing, man. And this is going to be all the way interesting this season. I hope they have some batting power because that's what we need. That's what we need in the playoffs. We didn't get
Mhm.
that, obviously. Uh, Pitching hurt us big time.
Mhm.
If anything, I would have gotten a couple more big arms. Like,
The division's up for grabs, Jason. It's not like if you look at the moves these teams have made so far in the offseason, the Cardinals actually traded Arenado. The Cubs, they don't have Kyle Tucker. He went to the Dodgers. The Pirates are the Pirates. Cincinnati hasn't really done anything.
mhm.
So it's going to be open again. It's just, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see once, like you said, once they get to spring training where they're starting to talk about some of this and get some more information and intel on what the plan is.
And Danny, this is an extra topic here. Super Bowl halftime show with Bad Bunny. Uh, I have to give two thumbs up. I didn't understand the wording. I didn't understand what was being said, and that is just due to my lack of knowing Spanish. But let me tell you, the imagery was amazing. The storytelling, without knowing the words, was amazing. And hey, I give them kudos. I give them kudos. And so I'm interested in halftime performances of Super Bowls. The dancing, all the dancing. I mean, it was amazing. It was good to see. It was good to see. It was fun to see. And so and the story was being told all at the same time about what's happening in Puerto Rico, whatever case may be. So uh, I give it two thumbs up. I like seeing the Super Bowl halftime shows, all of the messages that's being made, and us decoding the messages, things of that nature. And so, kudos to Bad Bunny. What say you, Danny, about the halftime Super Bowl show?
I've never really listened to Bad Bunny, but I like the beats, not understanding what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, if you could see the TV, you could see what he was saying
Mm-hmm.
without no understanding what exactly he was saying. And it was actually cool to see that that couple got married.
Yeah,
Actually got married on this on the
exactly.
Bad Bunny set. He brought them in because they actually asked him to go to their wedding, and he integrated them into the actual performance. So no, it was cool, man. And the actual trees or whatever, those are
Yeah,
actual people.
that's what people.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that until after the Super Bowl. So it's always impressive how they, do the set. And in his case, like you said, man, he had a lot of messages that made you think about things and made you do a little research after the show to say, did I see that right? Did I catch what he was actually saying? So no, it was a good performance, man, and I like the beats on this song, so it was catchy that way.
And Danny, lastly, the Winter Olympics started, and just a interesting and great opening ceremony. And I'll say this too, Danny. I mean, Lindsey Vonn, give her a lot of props for going out there and in the midst of a torn ACL, giving it a shot, and then ultimately suffers a broken leg. And so she gave it a shot, that Olympic shot, man. And so I give her a lot of credit. But yeah, Winter Olympics are ongoing, and you're seeing some interesting sports, and can't wait to see what happens tonight. What say you?
Yeah, Jay, man, it's always interesting with the Winter Olympics. Like some of the things, like they're in Italy and like the downhill skiing, which you're talking about with Lindsey Vonn getting breaking her leg yesterday and getting airlifted, and somebody actually else, another woman got airlifted as well yesterday. But to see the speeds they're going and the respect I have just seeing somebody going 85 to 90 miles an hour down a hill, ain't no way in the world. I'm looking at watching on TV and I'm bugging out. I can't imagine being in that spot. And in her case, Lindsey Vonn's case, being out there with a torn ACL, which she did actually make the run Friday and Saturday
Mhm.
before yesterday, and she got caught up in that red sign thing, man, and that just threw her whole balance off. But uh, yeah, the Olympics are here, and there'll be some other interesting the luge. Like
Mhm.
there are some interesting sports I like to check out during the Winter Olympics, man. Just because like the speed and things you're just not used to. I'm not used to seeing, so I'll check it out over the next couple weeks, and hopefully it'll be some good performances.
Thank you for joining us at Back Porch Talk Podcast. You can also join us on Twitter by tweeting us at back_podcast. For more information, you can go to our website, which is backporchtalkpodcast.com. You can also email us at backporchtalkpodcast@gmail.com. Again, thank you for joining us, and remember that there's enough hate in the world, so go ahead and spread a little love.